So he is equal second fastest. Just magnificent. And look at that batting card. You're happy with that? You're 100% happy with that. If you're Rovman Powell, put under pressure as a team to get runs on the board, and you say that you've got power hitters, and what you're trying to do is to manage that aggression with some sort of balance. On a surface that's like this, then you can kind of play the way that they like to play, express themselves, because it doesn't matter so much, because the ball goes over the boundary with regularity. It's when the surfaces are trickier, when the surge to get out of jail might be to try and go for boundaries. After wicket one, well, I'll say wicket number two, it didn't really matter the wickets after that. The men coming in had to go at it to make use of the foundation. And Romario Shepherd has shown in the shortest format of the game, not international, T10, and in this format, that he can smash it far. And he did that today with some help from the skipper, who himself has played well a couple of innings in a row, Ian Bishop.
Yep, they're a team that's still looking to cement their identity, and the batting in these conditions went to suit. Still 37 dot balls in all those partnerships there. So that's something they've talked about getting better at, but Powell seeing some light.
Yeah, I don't know if today the dot balls, let's look at the wickets as they fell, but I don't know if today the dot balls being intentional might well have served as a way to rein themselves back in and stay in control. And yes, some of them just couldn't get that away, but they would have helped to just kind of temper things as they went along, so that it wasn't just helter-skelter and uncontrolled to a point where they lose their way. Not necessarily by design, just because it happened. Yeah, the wickets, 5 of them. And I tell you what, they just kind of gave everybody out on the field a chance to take a breath or two, have a chit-chat or two, but when they got back, it was all-out assault once again. 258 for 5. And it slots in for the highest totals. Goodness gracious, 278. Successful run chases. Well, this would be record. They've got to get a record if they're to win. And by the way, if we hadn't mentioned it before, it's do or die. You don't win here, you don't get to 259, that's the series done. It's the West Indies who would be victorious in the series. They're happy. Who wouldn't be with so many on the board? For South Africa, they must get up. The brief is quite simple. Play shots. You must. Not gonna get 259 without playing shots. We'll be back in a bit and see how South Africa go.
Very convincingly,
the West Indies, high quality. That's how to finish it.
April is filled with world-class sports. Catch all the excitement from the Credit One Charleston Open. Have a serving of the Billie Jean King Cup qualifiers. Stuttgart plays host to the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. Watch the Badminton Asia Championships on HubSports 2. Find out who'll prevail at the Kazoo World Snooker Championship. And don't miss a shot of the Matua Madrid Open. April means thrilling action. Live on HubSports. Get ready for kickoff as Europe's international football teams take their first steps on the road to Euro 2024. Don't miss any of the action from match days 1 and 2. Every goal, every celebration, every moment that matters. The European qualifiers, live on HubSports 2. The broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by presenting broadcast sponsor Income, Will, Power, made yours.
he can hit them. Oh, he can hit them.
What a start for Fulham. Here's Haaland. That's what he's all about. Oh, yes! That is absolutely brilliant!
Tune in to the Premier League, live on Hub Premier. Co-presenter, Samsung, unfold the perfect match. Gold sponsors, Ogawa, leading brand in massage technology. IG, the world's #1 CFD provider. Lazada, add to cart, add to life. The broadcast of the Premier League is brought to you by presenting broadcast sponsor, Income, Will, Power, made yours. Get your daily dose of Premier League news, views, interviews and reviews.
5 points ahead of Man City, but can they, or even Newcastle, really win the title?
Just a quick little look at the Premier League fixtures this weekend, and he started his Arsenal career so well. I think that mural's going to stay up for a few years.
How would you feel if I told you you're going to interview Kai Havertz later?
Tune into these shows every weekday on Hub Premier 1. Co-presenter, Samsung, revel in the epic action. Gold sponsors, Ogawa, leading brand in massage technology. McDonald's, next level juiciness in every bite. Lazada, add to cart, add to life.
Very convincingly,
The West Indies, high quality. That's how to finish it.
Welcome back to Supersport Park. That is the target. 259 runs. Goodness me, 120 balls. We've got plenty of blue sky around the place. We have had a serious entertaining first half of this game, and this crowd here at Supersport Park have had a ball, that's for sure. They really have enjoyed things out there, particularly the West Indies supporters. It went a little bit quiet from time to time, but then a lot of these people that are supporting South Africa just realised how brilliant the West Indies were. It really was very special. It was the joint 6th highest score ever in T20 internationals, and it has to be the highest run chase ever if they're a successful run chase if they get up. That's how well South Africa have to play here. Reza Hendricks gets an opportunity at the top again. He's going to have to hit some runs right from ball go, and Quinton de Kock will play his normal game, I'm sure, because he likes getting after the bowling, but they'll be under pretty strict instructions. Sean Pollock and Neil McKenzie alongside me. Right, Sean, what are your thoughts before we start?
Yeah, Hayes, we thought it was going to be a good surface, but it's proved to be formidable, and the striking from the West Indies was just something to behold. So it'll have to be something similar from South Africa. They've got some players who can do it, so it should be some wonderful viewing.
Hello, Neil.
Hazy, just looking at the boundary count, 22 sixes and 17 fours. So if South Africa want to win, they've got to hit more boundaries than the West Indies.
That's not Johnson Charles alone, right?
It seemed like it at one stage. He got out in the 14th over. Unbelievable.
Extraordinary stuff. 10 fours and 11 sixes for Charles. Here we go. Hussain to start. And leg side, and that's away. Boundary first up, and the crowd are excited about that.
He's got to be disappointed with that start, as I was saying. It's a real drag down. Not only that, it was well down the leg side, and with fielder up and short, fine leg, that was really easy. Quinton de Kock would have been thinking, how do I play this? After I got out first delivery yesterday, maybe I'll give myself a little bit of a look-see. Well, it's a present to start.
Let's club that as well. Back-to-back boundaries. They need to go with 13 runs and over.
Well, contrasting starts from yesterday. Out first ball. And 2 back of a length. Asked to be hit deliveries. Jumps on them. And there's 2 fours to open up his scoring.
Right, so pressure back on Hussain. arm ball the second one. So the man in the covers, no run.
I think Quinton's worked this out. It's generally just arm balls from Hussein in his first over or so, so it'll be swinging almost away from Quinton. He doesn't have to look for much spin whatsoever. Having a chat with the Hawkeye guys, and they said swing through the air was 3.1 degrees and the amount of turn was 0.6, so that tells a picture about it. There's more swing than spin.
Any figures on pace off the bat?
None official as yet.
Considerable. Well done by Myers.
Good response by Akil Hussein. First two went for 2 boundaries. And try to tuck him up hard into the surface, not looking to turn it. Quinton de Kock trying to give himself room. You can see where he's trying to go through that extra cover region. And we see some committed fielding from the West Indies. Myers on this occasion.
Well, they'll be so up for this, the West Indies. After winning yesterday, they win this, they win the series. One more game to go, that's all. At the Wanderers on Tuesday. That's through the inner ring, and that's gone for 4. 3 fours off the first over is a good start. 13 for none.
Yeah, comparison, South Africa 3 runs ahead of the West Indies and they haven't lost a wicket, so it's all looking dandy for the South Africans.
Yeah.
It's nothing more than just a push, and this Super Sport field is lightning. Good way to get in, giving himself a little chance. You get a 4 off your first.
Right, Anil, how would they look at this, South Africa? What would be the chat in that change room?
I think it's quite simple. I think it's the same. You recognise something, you've got to go. Back your strengths. You know that it's a quick outfield, so you can play some good cricket shots. The ball travels a long way here in the half field as well. So it's not an out-and-out slog, but it's just targeting an area, sticking to your strengths, and playing the conditions. And the conditions are really, really good. So getting the assistance off the wicket, the assistance in the air, a quick outfield. It's just about making a good position and really trying to put the bowler under pressure the first 2 deliveries.
Sheldon Cottrell bowling the second over. New coach Rob Walter said before this series started he wanted to start with a new blueprint. He wanted the players to play with freedom, positivity and aggression. Well, here's their chance. Oh, what a shot that is. That's a beauty. Quinton de Kock, sensational work.
Yeah, one of his real strengths, Quinton de Kock, something he's really worked hard on is that ability to pick up a length delivery, the pick-up pull, and he absolutely smashes this. This has gone way back, and he has hit the ground running. 15 of 6. He's got into 5th gear or 6th gear very quickly, and he's not looking like letting up.
That's the shape we're talking about, something that you just recognize there. He sets up really well. He knows if he gets half of it, it's out of the stadium. Just got to keep his shape.
And again, that's 6 more. They're in the pool, waiting for catches. There's 4 lining up in that pool.
Yeah, a bit surprised by this length that Cottrell is attacking. We saw in the first game he got the ball to shape nicely, and you would think he'd be wanting to go a touch fuller to give it a chance to move through the air, but it's banged in short, and Quinton de Kock so quickly onto it. Carl Mayers, who played for the Durban Super Giants, would know exactly that he likes that kind of length, so they would have been part of the discussions. Talk about flies, 21 of 7. South Africa are heading in the right direction quickly.
Yeah, you're talking about that good surface. We've seen it in the South African setup as well. Cottrell missing it slightly full, getting dispatched. Then de Kock waiting for something that's slightly shorter and going in the same direction.
Short again, and he's hit that high. Has he hit it far enough? That's the question. Yeah, he has. 6 more. 3 in a row.
Now you would say this is a half-out 6. If this contact is made on the coast, I don't think it goes over the boundary. The change of field, they put a man back there for that particular shot. And he Didn't middle it anywhere near like he did the first two. But the same result, you can see he comes off the top edge. And he would have had his heart in his mouth for a while there, Quinton de Kock. But it works out just fine. 18 of 3 deliveries.
Let's say, Sean, an extra, what is it, 8 to 10?
10%.
Yeah.
Never a dull moment with the expressions of Quinton de Kock.
What's next for Cottrell? Protection back on a square on the offside, just to the right of picture. Going wide, and a wide called.
I don't think Quinton de Kock moved across the crease at all, so sometimes the bowlers look for a little bit of leeway if there's an initial foot movement across to off stump. And I think that's just gone outside the red one. You do feel for the bowlers, but unfortunately, from a guidelines perspective, that's just outside.
Oh, that's beautiful. Straight as a dive. 4 more.
It's the Kock, a little beauty. We've seen a few in the West Indies innings. Johnson Charles hit a few of these ones, and that's keeping your shape. Cottrell just missing it slightly a foot from being a good Yorker. Kock getting underneath it and getting 4 for it.
You do get the feeling that one over pitching, so he's kind of been 2 lengths, kind of back of a good length, too full of a good length. Hasn't really hit the ideal length as yet. And Quinton de Kock is just thinking, watch ball, found boundary.
Just faced the one delivery so far. Reza Hendricks hit that for 4. Quinton de Kock's strike rate is 320.
Yeah, comparisons, we're giggling after the last over, but at this stage, West Indies were 11 for 1. South Africa 38 without loss.
Yeah, Markham had bowled the second over. I think he went for 2. How the fortunes changed.
He'll be dangerous if he gets going. Riley Rousseau.
He also won't take too many balls when he gets to the crease.
Oh, that's cracked away. What a shot. That's right out of the middle. Lovely sound off the bat from Reza Hendricks. What an over. 29 runs off that over. 42 for none.
Yeah, you think of this one as almost like a test shot. It's just fantastic. Normal, orthodox cricket shot. No excessive force, just beautiful timing and placement. 31 ahead of where the West Indies were at this stage.
I love your optimism, Sean. Trying to find some straws somewhere.
I think we need to get that worm out just to show the comparison of the worms.
This is like a dog with a bone at the moment. Sean Pollock. Reza Hendricks only faced 2 deliveries, hit them both for 4. So obviously he's a batsman that likes to give himself a chance. He's hit 2 real good cricket shots on his way to getting in.
So the lights are coming on. Just getting a little bit dull over the ground at the moment. There's a couple of clouds just to the left of that picture. I don't think there's going to be any concern about rain. It's certainly not forecast. Hussain again. Feels he missed out there, Quinton de Kock. Runs. Got a nick on that.
Kiel Hussain over the stump mic. His West Indian accent just saying that's a drop catch. Having a little go at Purin, just on the joking side.
Playing with the ball as it slid in towards him and timed it absolutely superbly.
Yeah, that's quality, because it was a difficult length to get away. The fact that Hendricks had given himself a little bit of room, but the timing of his bat for all three of the deliveries he's faced, Mac, have been pretty impressive. A bit of an in-swinger.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Polly, Keeler Hussain done nothing wrong, tucked him up. It's the nature of the surface. It is lightning out there.
Hey guys, what do you want to do?
And rarefied air. Good luck, bowlers. The crowd right behind South Africa, as you'd expect. And they are on the charge straight away.
Excellent.
Protection, just one. So 2 men only allowed outside the circle in the first 6 overs. Both going to be leg side with Quinton de Kock. One each side with Reza Hendricks on strike. There's the two on the leg side, one at backward square, one at deep mid wicket. And he goes straight, and he hammers that one. That's gone for half a dozen. Another wonderful shot from de Kock.
Yeah, this is brilliant from de Kock. His 4th 6, and I much prefer that option. He tried the reverse sweep. He often pulls it off. He's very talented at doing that, but because of the nature of the way Hussain's bowling, it's kind of just seam up, brings up the 50 for South Africa, 54. And I much prefer Quinton going straight down the ground.
50 up, just outside 2 overs. Giving himself some room. He's hit that high. It's not going to be caught, but it is going to be stopped. I think it's stopped. Oh, let's hope he's okay. That's nasty. It's gone over the LED boards and into the... Oh, let's hope he's okay. He's just limping a bit there, looking after that ankle by the looks of things. I think it was a brilliant stop. I don't know if they signalled 4 in the end. Oh, looks like they did. I thought he stopped before it went for 4, but he's hit that LED board and then he's hit the railing.
Is that the captain? I think it could be Robin Powell. Yeah, it was total commitment. He launched himself into that run chase and almost collided into one of the KFC kids who's there as a ball boy. The kid was going to go do the fielding. He avoids him and he catches into the guy behind, and then this is the part that we're really concerned about. I think he actually does brilliantly to hold most of his weight with his left hand. He'd probably still be sore and a little bit damaged, but that could have been a lot worse. Did a brilliant job of just stemming the flow of the blow, but it's the knee that actually is the issue.
I think he was worried about that knee and the leg on that LED board, the trailing leg. It's a fine shot. It did go for 4 in the end. But nasty stuff for the skipper. They don't need him not on the park, that's for sure, the West Indies.
Yeah, shame the ball boy thought he was doing his job. He thought the ball was coming, he'll get it back into play. Was unaware of the big West Indian running down on him. De Kock now 43 off just the 13 deliveries. He's got his helmet on there. Just trying to look at the knee that when it makes contact. I think it's there, that point there. Just maybe pushes it into half a flexion, but I think he's back on the field. And that's good signs from a captaincy perspective. They need him on the park.
KFC kid, I don't think he's fielded too many balls. There was more crowd action than throwing it in from the boundary ropes there, so he wanted to get a part of the action there, and I think the captain Powell actually did really, really well to avoid him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Outstanding commitment too from the skipper. Great to see that he appears to be okay. 1 ball left in over number 3. 58 on the board. Already the captain's having a chat to Hussain. 29 runs he's traveled for at this stage, courtesy of the powerful blade of de Kock. Bit of a limp on. Hopefully you can run that off. Pick that up. One bounce, and that's gone for 4. Gee, it's raining boundaries. Unbelievable, this match. 3 overs gone, 62 for none.
Saw the delivery before. Trying to swing it away from de Kock. De Kock giving himself a little bit of room to free up his arms. On this occasion, just crowds the plate. Back of a length ball. He knows he gets anything on it. One-handed flick. Kock moves to 47. South Africa wanted a good start and they've got it. 62 off 3 overs. Insanity. Sean, I'll let you do the comparison.
Yeah, 34, Mac. We're up to 34. Exactly what South Africa have been after. When you're chasing a big score like that, a foundation is so key. Remember the 4-3-8 partnership between Graham Smith and Herschel Gibbs. Boetedipa got out cheaply, but there was a big partnership at the top, and that obviously helps when it comes to the run chase. They still need some fireworks going down. As long as you get off to a good start, you give yourself a chance.
Allowed correction on that call.
Yeah, Jason Holt introduced into the side as an all-rounder option. They wanted to strengthen the batting, but it's going to be his job with the ball. It's going to be vitally important here for the West Indies.
He's decided to join the party as Reza, all by 6.
Reza just walks into the channel, hits a little 7-iron. Doesn't try and overclub it.
Yeah, it's the shot you can play, Mac, can't you, up front, because you don't know, you don't have to clear the boundary, so it's like almost holding your shape, just trying to clear the infield.
Yeah, that's why it's so a benefit. Batting 1, 2 and 3, you can really play some good cricket shots. Hold your shape, don't try and overhit the ball. Only 2 men out. Holds the shape beautifully.
Got that nice and fine. Holder's struggling. Line, leg side, punished.
Yeah, we talk about Quinton de Kock. He's striking at 335, but Reza Hendricks not far behind. 5 boundaries to his name, no maximums from him yet, and he's striking at 300, and this is beautiful finesse. Just realizes it's sliding down. He has to beat one guy, and manages to do it.
Just gets inside it again and gets something on. I think Reza is chasing the 4 count of the West Indies, and Quinton's after the 6 count.
And there's another 4. Fine drive this time from Hendricks, all along the grass.
Yeah, I think Coach Rob Walter, he was saying to Reza, you take care of the 17 4s that were hit in the West Indies innings. Quinton de Kock must have put his hand up, said, listen, I'll take care of the 22 6s. Or I'll take a big chunk out of it for the rest of the team.
Yeah, you do realize good surface, really good surface, altitude and all those things, but you do keep thinking that bowling wise, that is easy pickings. It's a genuine half volley, there's width on offer as well. And if it's not going to be the wide Yorker, there has to be something different about it to make sure they can't just stand up and deliver. Round the wicket now for Holder.
Certainly playing with freedom, that's for sure. Going across him.
I think he gets the benefit of the doubt there, does Jason Holder, because Hendricks moved across onto the off stump or even outside. And here's the comparisons. It's pretty impressive, Hayes.
Certainly is, that's for sure. Out of the blocks like lightning, these two. First of all to Kock, now Hendricks is catching up, 25 compared to 47. 12 off this over so far, 1 ball remaining. Leg side, that's another boundary. Runs are coming so quickly for South Africa now. A bit of a smile there from Reza. 16 off that over, 78 for none.
Holder got some shape on this occasion, tries and double bluffs and tries and cramps Reza up. Reza just slides that back leg out the way. Almost a little pedal sweep. Gets something on it. And another 4 to his name. He's faced 10 balls. He's hit 7 fours.
Yeah, the song bleating out in the background, Laugh is Laugh. Well, Laugh as a bowler on this venue is not such laugh. It's a bit of a nightmare. 78 without loss after just the 4 overs. We'll get the stats for you about what the best power play of all time is. Was the second or third best 10 overs of all time, I think, today from the West Indies. They were at about 130 after those 10 overs.
47 for Quinton de Kock. Still 47 for Quinton de Kock. Shepherd. Got to be intimidating bowling to de Kock, that's for sure, when he's in this sort of mood.
Yeah, sometimes on this ground there's a little hill as you get into your delivery stride that as you jump off, you feel like you float through the air, and that might have happened there with Shepherd. He probably got the feeling that he was going to be well past the crease, so he just aborted mission.
He's picked it up and he's hit that a long time.
50 for Quinton de Kock. 53 or 15 deliveries, Hayes.
That's the fastest all time for South Africa. 5th joint fastest overall. All teams. Magnificent. What a performance from Quinton de Kock.
Well, you can see why Shepherd pulled out of his first delivery. He's batted on the surface and he batted beautifully. He knows. Pace travels. The slower ball has been travelling. Just tries and cramps Quinton de Kock for some room. He plays one of those trademark little flicks at the half felt, and that goes rows back.
Yeah, you're right, Mac. You have to be on point. You cannot offer up freebies, and that was sliding down the leg side.
I mean, we're 2 balls into the 5th over, and South Africa's got 84. Extraordinary shot.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like Quinton de Kock just keeps coming at them. This was the 6. They just see shot after shot after shot after shot from Quinton.
Not allowing Shepherd to settle at all, that's for sure. Picking it up beautifully. A lot of shots in the last 2 games, today and yesterday, going square.
Shepherd, a little bit of slingy action, trying to cramp him for room, and de Kock just using the angle. He's wide on the crease, angled in, missing leg stump, and anything on it is definitely out of town here. He's responded well. He's bowled 2 slow balls into the surface, 2 dots.
Reaching that one. Oh, there might be a man down there. No, on the bounce. Backpedaled actually straight away. Went backwards initially and then had to come forward. Cost him maybe a couple of yards.
Yeah, that's a huge moment in the game. He didn't pick it up at all, and he should have been able to actually get underneath that comfortably. I think that's Reefer on the square point boundary. He had plenty of time. It was in the air. You see where it lands. He didn't get anywhere near it in the end. Didn't pick it up. That's a bit of fortune for Quinton.
Just a little bit of context quickly. Yuvraj Singh is the fastest 50 of all time, just 12 balls in Durban.
Yeah, I remember that.
2007.
36 and 6, was it?
7 off the over so far. Slower ball, he's got that over the top. Had to do all the work, but he's got it away for 4 more.
Yeah, that takes the score to 89. Best power play by test playing nations was the West Indies, 98 against Sri Lanka. Romania versus Serbia is the best power play of all time. That's 116. South Africa are still on target to break the first record and maybe even the second. Reza Hendricks, another 4. Mac?
Strike rate for both of them is bang on 300. De Kock and Hendricks. They're going to get tired. Signal these 4s. Oh, he's going to have to bowl that one again. exercise for Adrian Holdstock.
Run! Run! Too close!
That was interesting. Shepherd just screamed out to Nicholas Perrin, the wicketkeeper. He told him he's too close. It's over the top. Chases on. Coming back for 2 more. In the end, it's a good over for South Africa. 14 off that as well. Shepherd's first. 92 for 2 off 5. 92 for none of 5.
Staggering onslaught when I came on to commentate in the first innings by Johnson Charles and Kyle Mayers, and now I say the same thing about Quinton de Kock and Reza Hendricks. Just extraordinary. A range of stroke play from de Kock that very few players in the world are lucky enough to have at their disposal. Here's Jason Holder. And there's Quinton de Kock. It's 6 more. This is an exhibition. With me, Ian Bishop and Temba Bavuma, who knows Quinton de Kock so well and loving every minute of it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been a beautiful display of batting here by Quinton de Kock as well as Reza. I think they pretty much timed everything, found the gaps, found the boundaries actually. I think looking at where we are, we're way above the DLS as well as where West Indies are, so I think at this point in time we've got it well in control.
Well, it was a hell of an innings when he's left a ball alone. They brought the original rate, which was touching on 13 and over, down to 11 and over. So they've taken 2 runs per over off the required rate, which is a remarkable performance. We're only 2 balls into the 5th over, and we're 2 short of 100. Certainly 1 here, maybe 2. Yep, they come back for 2. Temba, while we've got you, just give us some of the qualities as the 100 arrives, the qualities that Quinton brings. What are his great strengths in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, Quinton's obviously a big player, a massive player for us within the team. I think his experience, you know, that's something that he brings of value to the team. His batsmanship, I think that's we've all had the pleasure of witnessing him over the years. And I think, I mean, with Quinton, we obviously look for him to be that guy that kind of leads things there at the top. He's our enforcer, and you know, we take a lot of lead, a lot of charge from him.
And did you feel when he retired from Test match cricket that might compromise him in the short form, or do you think his natural talent means he can just turn up and be the same player?
Look, I mean, we were all quite sad within the Test team when Quinny decided to call it quits there. Here's another, that's quite a rare dot that we get to see. But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, we were quite sad. But I mean, it's a decision that he made, you know, and obviously respected the decision. But I think in terms of how that would affect him in the other formats, I don't think that it's had a major effect in a negative way. I think his 2020 game is still up there. His ODI game probably hasn't scored the bulk of the runs that we're so used to him.
Well, that's good bowling. He's getting it away from de Kock. And the first of those might have been a wide, but not that one. Very smart thinking from Holder. 102 for no wicket.
So yeah, I think a guy like Quinny, I mean, he hasn't lost his quality. He's still of massive value. As we see here, the variety of shots. And that pickup shot, that's become synonymous with his name. I think the cow corner might be, that term might be called the cock corner.
Yeah, the range of stroke is remarkable, and the quality of the timing, the speed of the hands, the balance. He's got it all. 64 from 24 balls, already made the fastest 50 for South Africa in T20 cricket.
I think Riza as well, he's also silently kind of gone about his business.
I've got one for you, Temba. How about this? This is the highest power play score by a full member nation, a test playing nation. Highest power play score ever. Gone past West Indies against Sri Lanka. Fantastic. Ian Bishop is with us too, and Bishop, it is a bowler's nightmare. And we were talking with Sean Pollock earlier, you know, to what degree is it oversimplifying things to say why isn't the Yorker used more often as a default ball? I suppose because it's a darn difficult ball to bowl accurately is one good reason. We saw that with KG Rabada, who's just about the best in the world right now, just misses length of touch and you over pitch, and it's a low full toss. And 6, flat, hard. Over to you, Bish.
It's an outstanding shot, and it's perhaps one of the deliveries you were talking about, the Yorker. Did Romario Shepherd try to go wide Yorker? Missed it and was carted for 6. He can't believe it. Many of the West Indian fans can't believe this onslaught right now. It's been excellent. Can't miss your length. Simple as that. Can't miss the block hole.
But it's cruel, isn't it? The boundaries, the bats, the power of the men. It's you get a pitch as good as this that comes onto the bat. The ball doesn't get stuck in the pitch here. Not this one. Bold, clever change of pace. It's quite one-sided, Temper, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a batter's heaven today. Bowlers have really struggled to get any type of consistency. And I guess that's Centurion. Centurion is known for that. Good wicket, ball flies. I think it's not a good day to be a bowler today. I think West Indies are obviously going to, within this period, with them having extra guys on the boundary, they're going to be looking to kind of squeeze a lot more dots, a lot more ones. And hopefully that brings wickets.
Insult to injury.
I think that's the last thing that you expect or need at this point in time. Miss fields, I think those are things that you can control as fielders out in the team. And I think also just in terms of the momentum or morale within the team, it doesn't do it any justice from that point of view.
Slid with too much momentum, did Raymond Reefer there. Looking past the ball, the cock rushes it away. That's a good stop. Very calm and casual, and actually very sensible. He didn't panic. Odin Smith, the man out there.
Yeah, I think, look, it's weighted in favor of the batters, and that's okay, because you get some pitches that are weighted in favor of bowlers. The man who fielded that will probably come in to bowl next. I think, as a leader, you can't afford to bowl in these conditions a bowler 2 overs consecutively. I think you've got to change it up. Almost a different bowler from an end often.
I think that's such a good point. I think you obviously don't want to be predictable. You want to keep the batters guessing, and obviously changing it up in terms of from the captain point of view. That's obviously something that you can do. You can be criticized a bit, but I think as long as you clear as a captain and that you're not trying to be predictable, it can work in your favor.
So South Africa ahead, they're the blue line because of Quinton de Kock. mesmerizing stroke play. You might just be getting home and turning on. Believe me, hard as it may be to believe, Johnson Charles played an innings every bit as good for West Indies. Made 118, I think, in next to no time. Beat the West Indies record for the fastest T20 100, passing Chris Gale's previously held record. 115 for no wicket, chasing 258. I'll repeat that because it's a 20-20 over match. Chasing 258, so 259 to win on a belting pitch here at Centurion in front of the most enthusiastic, vibrant crowd. Here is Odean Smith, as predicted by Ian Bishop. And, well, it's part intentional and part lucky. Thick outside edge, flying over the infield.
Yeah, I think we've centered a lot of the attention on Quinton de Kock. But you look at what Hendricks has done here. He's actually got a better strike rate. He hasn't faced as many deliveries. And that's why I think unfairly, most of the attention has gone on Quinton. Well, I wouldn't say unfairly. Most of the light has shined on de Kock. 41 of 15 balls. I mean, he's been brilliant, Reza Hendricks.
I remember first seeing Reza Hendricks and thinking I hadn't seen many people who timed the ball so sweetly off both front and back foot and had such time to play. And I've often wondered, Temba, why he hasn't gone on to greater things at, you know, in Test match cricket potentially, because he's such a natural all-round cricketer.
Yeah, Reza, he's a wonderful talent, affectionately known as Razzle within the changing room. Like you said, not many guys can time the ball as sweetly and as easy as he does. And I think the wonderful thing that he's done here, he hasn't hit a 6, but he's hit 9 boundaries. And I mean, that's kept that strike rate of his way above Quinton's.
Yes, he played a magnificent innings in the semi-final of the SA20 here in pursuit of a huge score, almost single-handedly nearly dragged the Joburg Super Kings over the line. Couldn't quite do it.
I was actually fielding in that game, so I had the pleasure of watching that spectacle from Reza. But it's good to see him again back in form, hitting the board nicely.
That's a good stop, really good stop. Kyle Mayers, admirable cricketer, great enthusiast, just loves playing cricket, and you'll support that as a view from any player.
Yeah, again, that's another wonderful piece of fielding. To be honest, I'm quite in awe of the West Indies and their fielding and athletic ability. We have to train very hard. It doesn't look like they train much. It looks very natural to them.
That's 4 more for Quinton de Kock. Takes him to his highest T20 international score, passing the 79 unbeaten he made against India in Bangalore 3 years ago.
I think Quinton de Kock here, I think he set himself here to really dig in. I don't think he's going to be happy with just getting to that 3-figure mark. He's been hungry. He's had a huge desire to make a big play for the team, and I think today could be one of those days for him.
Seems ridiculous to report at the end of that over that 8 have gone and the score is 127 for no wicket.
Yeah, chaps, I'm in the KFC bucket here, and I'll give you a bit of a weather report to start. The big dark cloud is coming over the ground, and as we sit here, there's a few drops of rain that are falling down, so hopefully this doesn't affect the run chase. It does look like it could just be a big passing cloud that's going to go by and maybe not too much of an impact. Also, we've got some of the South Africans in Nilepet Lekwaya, Rassie van der Dussen, Tony de Zorzi is here with us as well, and they're taking photos with all the fans. And we've got a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Good day. My name is Masana Mutubadze, and I am KFC's influencer. And yeah.
Okay, and have you enjoyed your time here? I mean, it's obviously a wonderful view. I mean, you couldn't get a better view than this of the ground.
I had so much fun. It was so lovely, interacting with different people and just seeing everybody cheering for different teams playing on the field. It was really great. It was a very beautiful day for me. I had so much fun.
And you got some of the Proteas sitting with you as well. You've been able to ask them some questions, have a bit of get a gut feel about what they think.
I actually sat with them. We had a bit of KFC together with them, and they just told me about how they also play cricket and they actually enjoy being here. And we were just conversating and socializing, basically.
Yeah, well, they're probably enjoying sitting right here rather than that dugout there, because any of the South African players almost would have been beheaded by Quinton de Kock as he sweeps that one away for another maximum. This really has been astonishing. Just discussing with some of the players here, the South African players who aren't playing, and they said they reckon that this would be as good as the 4-3-8 chase in the context of a T20 match. To chase down a massive score like this would be something formidable. 133 after 8 and just 126 required in just under 12 overs. Quinny quips that one away and he's headed to his high score. He now moves on to 88. Your favorite player in the South African side, you got anyone in particular?
I don't have anyone in particular. I just see everybody being like very energetic on the field. I don't like being picky on who's my favorite player because I just love everyone playing on the field. So yeah.
I tell you what, if South Africa win this game and Quinton de Kock goes on to get 100 and a little bit more, can we make him your favorite for the day?
Favorite for the year.
Favorite for the year. Okay, that's a good plan. Good plan. Reza Hendricks not far behind. He's got 43, and he'll be looking to try and get to that 50. He's been a wonderful foil, brilliant partnership at the top of the order here, and there's a good atmosphere. The people clapping in and around the ground. Everyone's behind the South Africans. Doesn't pick out Myers, drops comfortably short. So lastly, we're going to ask you to be a bit of a look into the future. Do you think South Africa can get over the line today? On what you've watched so far, you think they've got this one covered?
Definitely. I believe in South Africa so much. I feel like they're going to definitely win this. And even in future games, I feel like we're going to be top dog.
Brilliant. I like your positivity. Thanks for chatting to us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Have a look at the bag. The bag matches the T-shirt. It's all in sync up here. It's all pretty good. But back to you guys in the comm box.
Thanks, Polly. Raymond Reefer's come into the attack. This is his fourth ball, and at the moment it's going well. 4 balls for 9. The rate they've been scoring, that's close to a miracle. Full and wide seems to be the aim.
He's actually brought it back quite nicely, Raymond Reefer. After that first ball of his, I went for a boundary. I think his delivery arm has gotten lower and lower, which has maybe made him a bit more skiddier, and it's helped him in executing those Yorkers a bit better.
Well, the old Malinga theory. Six from the first ball and 4 consecutive singles. De Kock on 89, Hendricks on 45. De Kock striking at 261, Hendricks 236. Amazing figures, the highest opening partnership for South Africa against West Indies in this format. They've got a way to go before they catch Graham Smith and Lewis Borsman, who did it, put on about 170 odd together going back a while. .138 for no wicket. I find myself looking around the field, wondering what on earth the captain can do, Bish. It's like, you know, they've really got him in the places you need to try to protect. And sometimes there really isn't much you can do, particularly if the boundaries are short. There's another look at Quinton's record. We're just talking about the size of the boundaries and how difficult it is to defend.
It's tremendously difficult for both bowling units. This crowd has been royally entertained.
Squarish, use the pace and use the angle from time to time. It's just a guaranteed boundary and it's risk-free. Sometimes when you're under a bit of pressure, and he's played it superbly. 10 from 2.
Yeah, some of the time you might think, oh, there's a period where the partnership needs to bed in. You can't afford it. In fact, you've got to ensure that your opposition do not come back into the game. and there's been a passing of the baton of sorts here with the cock out. He must take the aggression even higher, Hendricks, and he's doing that.
Change of angle for Smith. Pulled through by Rousseau. Halfway through the over. 11 runs from it.
Yeah, another effective off-pace delivery, and I think that might be the plan for the West Indies going forward. They're going to keep mixing it up. It might almost be a 50-50 ratio here, because pace on the surface is just formidable. It's a bit of a runway, a bit of an N2.
N what?
That's where we drive in Durban, N2.
We're in the Highveld, mate.
Oh, main track, okay, N1.
That's better.
Not driving today. That's clubbed. That's on the mound.
Yeah, once again, not even having any starters. Riley Rousseau, he these days just backs himself. I don't know if that went the whole way or that just bounced short. I'll have a little look-see. This is wonderful from Rousseau. If it is a 6, it's 10 from 2. And he's also hit the ground running. I thought it just bounced short. No, it didn't. In fact, he went the whole distance. Just over the boundary cushion.
Just moves around the crease. Looks for anything short. Right, Rousseau is so strong in that area. Gives it a fair whack, that's for sure. That's going to be a wide.
Yeah, tough times. Tough day. 15 runs and over. That's what South Africa are going at. It's bettering the West Indies 13 runs and over all the way through their 20.
Need to go at 10 and over from here. South Africa waited for that and hit it right out of the middle. That's going to go 12 rows back.
Yeah, this is the rugby referee shot. Hold, 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 and then engage. Brilliant striking again from Rousseau. They needed 13 and over when they first started. It's down to 9.5. 79 or 49. You can see he holds that position. And then when he decides to execute, it's not missing the middle.
The base that he sets there, splayed a little bit, but just solid. And able to get that power despite the change in pace. And able to get it many rows back.
180 for one at the moment. Out, and it's straight to him. He's annoyed with himself, and so he should be. Had an opportunity to really kick on, Riley Rousseau. It was set up beautifully by Quinton de Kock and his onslaughts. That's an important wicket for the West Indies.
Basically caught in exactly the same place as the first T20, batting from the same end. That time it was a flat bat shot. He didn't get over the top. This time he advances, tries to hit it over extra cover. You can see how the bat twists in his hands. Means he doesn't get the contact he's after. And he just hopes that it'll top over, not to be comfortable catch for King. Riley Rousseau gets 16 or 4. It might sound odd, but in a way he's done the job. Strike rate of 400. South Africa lose their second. 180 for 2. Enter David Miller.
Yeah, didn't quite hit it as well as he'd have liked. And the reason he's upset with himself is not because he gets out. I think the shot is on and he knows it's on and the ball's in the slot and he can go over that offside. Doesn't get there.
Yeah, he wanted more elevation. Junior Dala. And Makanya with him as well. Number 4, David Miller. Played beautifully yesterday. Really did thump it square. Really strange to see they didn't hit any runs at all down the ground. It was all square. Strike rate has been extraordinary since the start of 2022. 170 strike rate with an average of 59 since then. There's his career strike rate of 145. 180 for 2 now. 79 from 48 balls, 8 wickets in hand.
Yeah, another look at the wicket ball. And he's upset with himself. It's in the slot. He expects that he can get this away, advances, and then doesn't get the contact, and also just bat spinning. And he's trying to will it over there. And they jump up to say, get up, and not enough. Rai smile as he goes off. Riley smile.
Got you. Miller. Right out of the middle of either. Spinning bat from Miller.
It's always good to look at the comparison. South Africa 30 ahead, and that's another no ball. So this is a nice free hit for Reza Hendricks.
They've certainly got in a bit of trouble here with the extras, the West Indies. They had a few problems yesterday with it as well. Oh, it's tight, but it is over.
And it's the skipper. Bowled well, actually. First over that he bowled. Over for 11. Yeah. Under the circumstances, you're going all right. You're winning the game. Until back here and this free hit. All the best.
Full toss, short arm jab, 6 runs, full penalty.
My best wishes didn't help, did they? Yeah, tough going on a day like this, a day like today, where you're not going to get too much help up the surface, and if you're not absolutely precise as a bowler, well, you're going to fetch. So many have disappeared to the embankment.
That's that ball almost went into the esky. That's how hot this ball is at the moment. Hard down the ground. Man are wide and 4. Beautifully played. Good control from Reza Hendricks.
Yeah, timing and placement superb. Had to wait for it. Was the off-pace delivery, but he waited and then timed it. Not only timed it, placed it straight back past the on-striker and away to the fence.
I'll say again, when Reza Hendricks is hot, he is very hot. This is superb.
Spent so much time on the sidelines, Reza. Oh, there's a wicket. That's a tame dismissal in the end. Powell's picked him up. They'll be happy with that, the West Indies. Now they're going to have a couple of batsmen in the middle who have only just arrived.
Talk about, she played a late cut and ran it down to third man. That's one of the things I like to see more from batters, and this is another one I like to see more from the bowlers. It's almost like a slow ball bouncer. Look at the height it comes through, and he changes his shot. He decides to just try and carry it around to the leg side. Gets the edge on it, a healthy edge, and a decent take by Pooran, who was still climbing. The 3rd wicket's down, and is this the moment for the West Indies to try and stem the flow? Hendricks, 68, 193 for 3.
Yep, applause. Reza Hendricks has played his part. A supporting role it was to Quinton de Kock, but equally important. They started things off, and then he continued it on, and is removed by a good slower bumper here from Powell. Yeah, Markram is in, and this is, for the West Indies, has to be the beginning of a new game. 66 from 44, start again, 2 new batters. Can you win this next phase?
communication between the two. Coming back for the second. A couple of very clean hitters of the ball now at the crease for South Africa. Miller and Markram.
It was a good innings by Reese Hendricks, 68 of 28. Exactly what his team required. It's actually his 5th 50 in his last 7 innings. Didn't get a gig at the T20 World Cup, didn't play, but he really has struck some wonderful form in the T20 format for South Africa.
For so long, I thought he just wouldn't play. It sort of looked so tentative up at the top of the order, and perhaps it's the in-out nature of his selections, but when he plays, he's pretty good.
I think that in and out selection actually started just after he started to change his game, where he was far more positive and was scoring runs quite easily. 13 overs gone, 196 for 3 now.
Yeah, he played really well in England. I think he got 3 or 4 against England and Ireland in that T20 series, and this is it. He started with boundaries. You can see 11 4s and 2 6s. The 6s came basically as he got to 50 and after he got to 50, but before that it was about beautiful shots and wonderful timing, a bit of finesse behind the leg side. But it really was the perfect foil at that time for Quinton de Kock, and then he carried on his merry way when Quinton left the crease.
I think it was quite remarkable actually at the start. De Kock had a lot of strike. Hendricks didn't have too much at all, but you're right, Sean, when de Kock was dismissed, then Rees just took over and just blazed. I mean, 28 balls, that's 68. Superb. Klaasen next. 63 required, 42 balls remaining. Need to go 9 runs and over. 9 runs and over from here with 7 wickets in hand. West Indies' only chance is picking up wickets. A couple of wickets now.
Slowies, good ploy. Take pace off.
Yeah, there's the comparisons. You can see similar time. West Indies lost some wickets and just a little bit of a nosedive there for the South African worm. It's still comfortably ahead.
West Indies, there's a good partnership that just started as well at this stage. A sweeper on the offside, Myers. Only a single.
You'd almost want as the skipper to kind of reconstitute the plan. Yes, it's Miller and Markram in. And what do you have in the way of resources, and can you go back to your spin? Can you start again with your spin? New batters, a whole new game, as I say, and you hope also that there hasn't been the scarring of the day, and it's recent. It's a few overs ago. Can your bowlers stand up and start again to try and win it from here? It's skewed, of course, today with the way things have gone in the favor of the batters, very much so.
One of the things that David Miller's been working on over the last 12 months or so is making sure in these sort of situations he doesn't get caught up in things. Still got to go at 9 and over, 9.4 and over at this stage, but he'll concentrate on staying still at the crease and not getting ahead of himself, just playing the ball as it comes. He knows he's a natural striker, a natural boundary hitter. Nicely bowled. Can't do a great deal with that. It's good bowling from Shepherd.
Yeah, it has, when you analyse it, it's 38, 60 required. So you've got 22 more. And if you go in there to run a ball and you hit basically for the rest of the innings, you pick 1 4 and over, you basically get there. So, I mean, these two and the experience they have, Klaasen still to come, just give yourself those extra few deliveries to make sure that when you do pull the trigger, you're middling it.
Yeah, and also with the awareness that 200's up now, just before the 14, the end of the 14. The awareness also that you only must do what is necessary, particularly when you're trying to bed a partnership in, simply because you don't want to give away the initiative.
Full toss, slap, square, 4 runs. That is beautifully played by Markram. Went like a bullet. 8 off that over, 14 gone, 204 for 3.
Yeah, that's such a pity for Shepherd. It was such a wonderful over, just the 4 singles and a dot ball up until the last one, and then a bit of a freebie. I think he was searching for the Yorker. Offers up a little bit of width and opens the face, does Markram. Knows he has to get it a little bit squarer than extra cover, because that's where the fielder was. And that's his first boundary of the day.
There's a look at the boundaries, 22 fours and 12 sixes. Serious run rates. I think one of the things also that the South Africans will be aware of, we've just got to think back, particularly David Miller, the way he scored his runs yesterday, is that the West Indies did not bowl particularly well to him. They bowled both sides, they bowled a couple of lengths as well, allowed him to pick him up off his pads a few times, and that went over the ropes. So they will know that every now and then they're going to get a loose ball they can put away. Dot ball to start.
Yeah, there's that slow ball bumper again. Just going to be a little bit careful about the delivery. Not 100% convinced about that arm either, just to say, from a perfectionist's point of view.
Just talking about it, those the odd loose delivery. I mean, Reefer's not one of those blokes who is likely to get all the deliveries in areas where he wants them to be. Did a reasonably tidy job in the Test match. Dot ball with the first ball.
A couple of overs from Powell, a couple of overs from Reef. This is a third, and so far their overs, 4 of them, and 5 after this one, but they've gone for 46. So they've done a more than decent job as you know, a change up, as I'm going to go to somebody else rather than keep going with the guys who are disappearing. So they've done a job. Yeah, could go back to the others now.
Been good. First 3 balls. Got away, I guess, with the first one. The next 2 have been tidy.
Yeah, he's got to be a bit concerned also about running on the pitch. It's really close in that follow through.
Dot ball. Good work from Reefer. One for 20 at the moment. 2 balls shy of 3 overs. Numbers are very good from Reefer up until now. 2 balls left. Can he finish strong? 2-6 for 3 on the board. Oh, that's a wide one. Eight wides they've bowled today, and 1 no ball. Crashed, but there is protection.
Who's most likely here? You've got to be thinking wicket if you're West Indies. So how'd you get these two, one of these two out? I don't know, Hussein, you thinking him? Perhaps you go back to Cottrell? Just someone who's potent, who can take you another wicket, just so you can somehow be in this last phase. I think that's the way that Rodman Powell's got to be thinking, and whichever is most likely bowler is here, got to come into the attack.
Astonishing that Cottrell's first over went for 29. Looking to come back for the second if they can. They will. Touch and turn, they do. In the end, it is a pretty good over. 6 from it, 15 gone, 210 for 3.
Another vibrant occasion here at Supersport Park. Cameras trained on the action as eyes around the globe and social media has lit up with the batting we've seen. Jason Holder is back. Another 49 needed from the last 5. Hammered. 2 of the most dangerous batters in this format of the game at the crease. Hello to Neil McKenzie and Mark Nicholas.
Well, the trick here will be getting pace off the ball, as Raymond Reifer has just proven at a gentle medium pace. Because if you've got bounce and pace to work with, boy, it's a fantastic pitch. And as Bish says, they're fabulous players, these guys. There are 3 fielders behind square on the offside, saving a single, 2 back. So you'd think he's looking to bowl pretty full.
Will be a no ball, I would think. Will be a no ball, should be a no ball. Apparently not. Staring at the umpire is Miller. Maybe a good call as it arrived at him.
I think a good call for the West Indies, Bish, or below.
One of the things I like what Robin Powell has done of late with his captaincy, I mentioned just rotating the bowlers. Unless a bowler is going very well, which has been rare, bowler in 1 over spells, giving the batter a different look. I think he's done that well in the last. I would say 8 overs or so.
The rate's gone from 9 to 10. Bowling's been tidy, mainly full. Well, not every time, most times it's cost them.
Powell had positioned himself very straight. Whether that impacted.
And that has pushed the rate up. Then you go a big shot and get out. You bring it. You've done a nice little squeeze here. A big shot and get out. You've done a nice little squeeze here.
It's a fantastic catch. Not easy.
A big shot and get out. You've done a nice little squeeze here.
It's a fantastic catch. Not easy.